My camouflage, my camouflage, my camouflage. What you got?
Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to OMMT3. Um, okay, oops, sorry. Yeah, welcome back to OMMT3. This is your host, Leon speaking. And alongside me, we have other commentators, Unical with me. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to OMMT. Very glad to see all of you return to this yearly competitive scene in Malaysia.
Yeah,
Right,
and
thank you
we
for
have
having me.
another. Wait, no, stay here. And we also have Toadette with us. Say
So that, hello there, yeah, that's me. I decided to just hop in and give some insights on whatever's about to come, because I got nothing to do anyway right now. So yeah, just decided to step in here as a guest commentator of some sorts.
All right, and yeah, over here we have the qualified results along with the round 32 showcase afterwards. Yeah, this year's qualifiers is pretty darn hard, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Along with hard qualifiers, we have some really interesting results as well. All right, so we have 33 players that have played, and sadly 32 were advanced, so one will be eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to say this right now. I think the qualifier results are very interesting in a way, cause we see a lot of variety in the scores. When I mean a lot of variety, just because they're let's say this seed, they're this number seed, it doesn't mean that their scores will always be in that seed range. So a good example of this is like, uh, in the 31st seed, you see a 23rd in the SV, meaning that just because they're in that place, it doesn't mean that all of their skill sets are going to be in the 31st rank. So do we give an insight on every one of these players, or do we just describe something general? Because I feel like every one of these players gave their best, and I think we all know that that's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than enough.
We're gonna
yeah,
go
definitely.
general in this case.
Yeah, we're just gonna we'll try our best to describe each place because there is a lot of new players over here. Players that we do not know as well. And just briefly explaining that we actually have a different qualifiers system to calculate the results actually. We have this rating system which even I myself do not understand, but basically in short it works much better than just map ratings. It's what soft tournament uses. So yeah, with that, we're just gonna start off with our 33rd player here, who sadly did not qualify.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
so
it's kind of unfortunate that they
Chloe.
didn't. They didn't qualify, but given their rank and whatever, at least for what I've seen, the fact that they seeded higher than 32 on some of these maps, higher than 33 rather on some of these maps, just goes to show that even with some of the lower ranks, it definitely shows that they can make an impact or something. Which is why I have to say that even if you're not that experienced in the game mode, I really hope that this doesn't demotivate you, because number one, the fact that you even seemed higher than last place in something, despite whatever you have right now, goes to show that there's definitely some potential here and there. So please don't get discouraged about that.
Yeah, definitely. And moving on, 32, we have Desmond Cayley just barely qualifying. So yeah, looking at these scores here, Unicorn, anything you want to comment on?
Mm, I wouldn't say so much about. I I like to think that this person has tried to play SV1, given that the other scores are relatively way lower than SV1. So I can say that he has put effort in playing. So we have a token of trying. Yes, he's definitely tried, and we should give him credit for that.
Definitely, totally agree. And moving on, we have 31st here, Exor right here. Exor right here, yeah, same as Desmond here, his SV score shines a bit more brightly from his third place compared to his other scores here.
Yeah, I mean the thing about SVs in general, they give like a lot of the lower physical players a chance to shine on something, and like that's something that we should note because if we were to look at their other scores, it's kind of night and day because it's clear that they're able to play well on something that they're physically adept with, but if it reaches out of their like range of comfort zone, it's kind of already obvious what they have to go through, and that's honestly the same with some of the other players here. Although moving on from Axorite is Purple Loom, who in my opinion is kind of the opposite. Look at Rice 1 and Rice 2. They're like 950 on the 950,
Yeah.
800k range, but that SV score just probably a little concerning in my opinion because it's either one, they might not be that proficient at SV, or two, they weren't able to practice it that well.
Yeah, the SV score definitely dragged his performance there a bit. The third, I didn't manage to practice enough of those SVs, but his other scores here, Rise is stage 2 and stage 4, pretty good scores, honestly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's
unfortunate.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well,
Xiaodomo, I know
Yeah,
him
moving on.
personally. I know he likes playing Rise, so I'm not surprised that his Rise is stronger than other modes.
yeah, I mean it's evident that they are indeed more proficient on the Rice end. So I guess we already know what they're going to be picking, and in a way, actually, seeded 28th is a little different because they do have a better SV score than C29, but their Rices are a little bit behind actually, and on hindsight, their LM and hybrid scores are a little bit higher. So like 28 and 29 are sort of the different players in their own right.
Yeah, definitely. Now moving on, we have Classic Nikki. Oh wait,
Yeah, it is
yeah,
classic Mickey.
yeah,
You're right.
Classic Nikki. I'm done. Yeah, Classic Nikki, very active in the server, great guy, and obviously he's been pushing himself since the past situation, and you can see here pretty good average of scores here. Definitely put in work each and every one of these maps. You see 20, 27 to 30, a very good average. So yeah, very good job to him. And now moving on, 26.
It's going to be True Sans 356. I mean, this is the first time we've seen a player that's not in, that doesn't have a single map on the 30s rank. I mean, of course, that's very impressive because, like, at least comparing it to the bottom six, or bottom seven rather, that we saw, they have performed generally better in the sense that, as I've said a while ago, they didn't have any score seeding lower than 30. So that's definitely on the safe zone of being able to qualify nonetheless. However, after True Sans, because like I feel like True Sans strengths would be more in the Ellen hybrid and probably a little bit more physical. Kazon, on the other hand, has the strongest SV score that we've seen so far at 17th, and not to mention their Ellen and hybrid is also pretty decent. However, I think they're lacking a little bit on the right side.
Yeah, seems like it. But yeah, as you said, the SV score is pretty good comparing to his other scores here. So gotta watch out.
Also,
Yeah,
if you would take note that we have now reached the first person whose every score is above 800k, and this already happened in the 25 seed. So we can see that the competition is going to be very fierce. Hopefully.
That's true.
hopefully,
That's
yeah.
true. I really do hope this becomes a close tournament in general. However, moving on from Kazon, I think it's gonna be Tang Shizon. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong,
And
but
she soon. That's it. Johan.
yeah, okay. Again, the difference that we've seen here is their SV score has been behind 25th seed and a little bit behind, of course, 26th seed. But they definitely make it up for their hybrid score. 18 seed on that is pretty decent if you ask me. But I think another concerning factor here is like other than hybrid, what else did they really have to make it up for? Like the Rice is a little bit lacking as well. I can tell because look at that Rice 1 score compared to the Rice 2 score. It's not like something that they're able to make it up for in anything. Like, oh, okay, they're good at this, but they're also just as good at this. So, like, they don't have anything that stands out, if it makes sense. So, I think what they have to really rely on is hoping that their opponent isn't as balanced as they are.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And going on, we have 23rd seed, the JK, and over here, yet another good average scores. And once again, especially by his SV score, now 16 seed here. Yeah, the 870k, pretty good mix of scores as well.
You know, I just wanted to note, I just noticed this, like, a lot of the people here have practiced the SV, and that makes me happy. It's also like I also like rarely see people here who seeded low because of one really bad score. For the most part, everyone's just really balanced, and I think that's super impressive. Once again, similar to fifth. They're kind of similar to the 25th seed actually, but they definitely have a much better a set of scores rather.
Yeah, this is what this new qualifier system does much better. It calculates the system, the score average much better. So yeah, it balances off everything. With that, moving on, we have 22nd seed X 6Ys.
XY.
Oh man, you know, don't we have a player? Doesn't Malaysia have a player with 6 X's?
Anyways.
This is a different
Oh
player.
yes, yeah.
Yes,
we-
anyways.
We're gonna talk about him very later, I suppose.
Okay,
Yeah.
but like, I think here's the difference here. I have yet to see someone who has such a really high score in the long notes compared to everything else. And this is the first time we see it. But I did forget to
that's
see
true.
that their hybrid is also really good. So look out for this person's hybrids and long notes because they're really good in the anti-meta stuff. But their Rice is certainly going to be vulnerable compared to the rest of the skill sets.
Yeah, just let me touch on that a little bit. The hybrid, the stage 5 in this tournament is known to be like very hard, very versatile, very anti-meta. So the fact that he's able to score much higher compared to stage 4, which is brutal in its own way, it speaks a lot. So better watch out for this guy. And
Yeah, that's true.
Moving on here.
My favorite name so far.
I don't know if we should say that on stream, but let's just say Enjoyer, because like I think Enjoyer's scores are really good on the Rice 1, and honestly the Rice 2 is also pretty decent. So very good Rice player is how I would describe this player, but definitely has to work on those long notes and hybrids. Like you can already see their scores, 25th and both Ellen and hybrid. I don't think that's a good sign, but they at least have Rice to make it up for those seeds.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
looking at the exact opposite of the last seed, where the last seed is better at anti-meta, and this one is not so much.
Yeah, that is true. That's actually a really good analysis there. We see an opposite of the scores, and not to mention their SV is literally just right next to each other. So I think that's that's a funny coincidence.
That is very funny.
Yeah,
indeed.
definitely very interesting.
Yeah, plus they have both 0.96 on the ending of the average rating. That's it. You know, it would be interesting to see these two play a match against each other because like it would be one of those unpredictable matches. However, moving on, we see someone who jumps right into the 40s range, Alepi, with a very balanced set of scores. I guess they could work on SV a little bit more, but overall, just scary on accuracy and long notes in general, but could fall off if not careful.
Yeah, definitely. As you can see here by his hybrid scores, definitely looking a little bit too dense for him as well as for the L.
Knowing
Overall.
I'm pretty sure he just didn't practice SV, knowing LSP.
Oh, most probably, but we'll just ignore that.
Yeah, we ignore that. We'll see about that.
Yep. Moving on, we have 19th seed in Kaijun Chang, 76 to 8. And over here, the first thing you notice is that number 12 on stage 2.
Oh no.
That is a pretty high score for him.
That's true. You're better of. I bet this person would be a nightmare to face on the early stages, just based on that alone. But check this out. They're LN1 and Hybrid 1. That is not a good sign. And no, it's not because I see it, but it's more because that their scores in Long Note and Hybrid aren't exactly that ahead compared to Rise 1 and actually Rise 2. So they certainly have a weakness coming forward, and that would be the anti-meta stuff. But at the very least, I can tell this guy practices SV.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone here does put quite an amount of effort into SV, which is, as you said, very nice to see. Yeah, anyways, moving on, we have 18C, Chirinos. As for Chirinos here, yeah,
I've
it
seen
seems
a very balanced score on every map except SV, as always.
it seems like he didn't put enough practice into SV, but you look at his stage 3, 4, 5, all number 13 players, all really, really good scores.
Okay,
So yeah, don't let this fool you. This man is definitely able to seed higher if not for that SV and maybe stage 2.
Well, I believe we're in 17 seed, which is Red Cats but real. That's the total opposite of this 18 seed with an 11th on the SV. Very impressive so far, but check this out. Ellen, Rice 2, and Hybrid, they're all really good as well. But Rice 1, that's very concerning in my opinion. Because number 1, this tends to be something more accuracy based, and like, if your act score in the qualifiers is not as good as it's supposed to be, I think that's a really bad sign, because early on in the tournament, you usually are thrown in with some easier maps compared to the rest of the pools.
Yeah, definitely.
I just read from the chat that apparently he lagged.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Makes no sense. But yeah, overall, really good scores, really balanced set of scores. And moving on, we have Jugemu.
I love that name.
Yes, interesting name. And yeah, first thing you see, that SV. This guy put in a lot of effort into his SV score. It's number 6 seed, which definitely carried him through the ranks here. Meanwhile, his other stages, stage 2, 3, and 4, pretty average, very close to each other. Just falling off the density a bit in stage 5, which you can see there.
Yeah, they really have to work on long nodes and hybrids. That's like, here's the difference in my opinion. Like, if you were to get a kind of a sloppy score on the SV, in the tournament proper, it's only like a few maps compared to like hybrids and long nodes. So I really think that Jugemu, if Jugemu wants to get far, of course they have to continue getting really good SV scores, but long nodes and hybrids really need some work. Other than that though, they seem to be a very scary player early on in the tournament, especially with that SV and Rice 1 score.
In the insane SV ability is always a key to win early games. Actually, any games in general.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking about insane SV plays, our next player here, seed 15 everywhere, is in fact has our number 1 seed for stage 1, which is
the
freaking
first number
insane.
1 we're looking here.
What? Okay, I'm in shock right now. The fact that we see a number 1 on seed 15, that's insane. So like, knowing this information, that there's someone that is capable of seeding 1 as a seed 15, I think here's some points to take note of. Number 1, that SV score is absolutely insane. However, number 2, the question is, would they be able to keep up with the rest? Because let's look at some of their scores. LN1 and Hybrid 1 are a little bit behind, and so is Rise 2. Luckily though, there is still early game, so I have no idea if they would fall off that easily. But with that being said, they definitely have a lot of potential, especially on SV.
Everywhere has always known to be that a very, very strong SV player and also quite a strong early game competitor as well. But yeah, it's just a matter of how long can he hold on until he starts to struggle in terms of
Yeah, at the
intensity.
end of the day, there are only 2 SV maps in every round.
Yep,
So
exactly.
so the fact that he get number 1 doesn't speak about everything. So don't worry too much. If you play the cards right, you can still win against these kind of players.
Yeah. Just one last thing to mention about his SV score. He actually is the only one to get over 990k, which is actually insane. But yeah, moving on, we have our 14th seed here, 256. Nice name. And as for this player, yeah, their SV, they also put effort in their SV, but falling off a little bit compared to the rest of their scores. As for the rest of the stages, very, very good average. By looking at their stage 3.5, definitely more capable in the more density, more harder maps. But maybe just falling a little bit off in terms of accuracy, getting that high ratio.
Yeah, that's true. I think I think what 256 has to work on, of course, definitely the SV score. But like what you said, accuracy in my opinion is a little bit scary on their end. Like seed 18 as a 14th seed, I don't think that's good at all, at least for early game.
Yeah,
However, moving on from that is the total opposite was a ridiculously good Rice 1 score at 989k, almost cracking or breaking through the 990 barrier. It's going to be Dry Celeste, I think that's how I pronounce it. So they have two number 9 seeds actually, which is Rice 1 and LN1. That's a very good combination of scores because early game matters so much if you want to get far into the tournament. I mean, obviously there's also later stages, but if you want to get far, you gotta get through the early stages first. Because even if you
yep,
fall off, like
definitely.
look at their score, like Seed 18 and Rise 2. Even if they fall off there, they have a lot of opportunity to make it up for in the early stages, given that stage one score. And not to mention, their LN seem to be pretty decent. However, they just have to work on mixing those two skill sets, which is Rise and Hybrid. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean Rise
seems
and Long
just
Notes, my bad.
just falling off a little bit in terms of that density, the mid late game. But we'll see how it goes. That stage 20 really really strong performance from him. Yeah, moving on, we have C12
Number
9919 149. I'm gonna buy total after this. Anyways, yeah, this player is also very interesting. We see very good very good performance from his SV, really good average for stage 2, 3, and 4. But then we look at his stage 5, number
now,
6.
I'm going with the hybrid score. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he got a 1 miss somewhere in LN1
Yep,
and somewhere in Rise 2. And I
yep.
would believe I'm inclined to believe that he can perform he can get a 980 in every other map. This is what I believe.
It's always the case. People don't usually perform their best in qualifiers because of so many other factors, first time, nerves maybe. But still, this guy here, number 6 on high rate, that is something they should be worried about because stage 5 is very dense, very like late game stuff. So he's able to play that level, and
This guy is
he's
dangerous. Yeah.
he's definitely gonna get far. Just has to watch out his SV. We work on his accuracy a little bit more. But yeah, moving on here. Seed number 11, we have
Finally a familiar name.
this fella. Anyway,
The
else
fella
you wanna
very
take
yeah,
away?
I mean, Shoki is a very familiar name. I think I've seen this person play in 4DM, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were either a candidate for 4DM or they played in there. But I also remembered seeing that name in Condor Cup. I actually almost picked them for my team, so I definitely know
Yeah,
who that is. Very decent, like very great player overall. Not just decent, I mean very great. They definitely have a super good LN score, but they gotta work on that Rice one score, I think, because like it seems like that's their lowest, and like if Rice one is your lowest, also known as the accuracy, you gotta have to improve there because accuracy is really what matters the most early on in the tournament.
Yeah, it's nothing though. It's not even the accuracy. Maybe it's just a one miss or two miss that causes the score to dip a bit over there. So, going on what you
I
said,
believe that happened as well because it's choky, you know. That's
yeah,
not his
yeah,
score,
true.
you know? This is not his score. It's lying.
So once again, he probably has to work on the SV a bit more. But overall, pretty scary player. We watch out when you face him. And moving on, we have seed number 10. We're going to the top 10. Alright, so we have Lloyd TTG. And once again, I think by this point, everyone's score is going to be really, really good, well above average. Stage 1, number 10, pretty decent
Really-
SV, pretty decent
Really
SV1.
strong rise. Yeah.
Yeah,
really strong.
really strong guys. Number 5.
Accuracy, first, early game accuracy, very strong. Relatively
Yeah.
weaker in the late stage.
Yeah, I just want to stress that this stage 2 is not just pure accuracy, it's very technical in some aspects as well. So if he's able to push through and get such a high score, he definitely can play quite a bit of rice patterns. But on the other hand, his Allen and hybrid does need a bit of work. Seems like
Yeah.
he does fall off a little bit when it comes to the Allens.
I agree. Okay, but moving on from, I believe Lloyd TTG was the last one we were talking
No.
about.
No,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to the next one.
You-
The vast
now-
player.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Vast player.
ASD.
The Vast after Lloyd TTG. So first thing I noticed about Vast, that Rice 1, Rice 2, overall just overall just really good set of Rice 1 and Rice 2 scores. Although it does look like they're lacking a little bit on the long note side and actually SV as well. So I guess those are the two things they have to fix on. But Rice 1 certainly a scary score. Anything that's like 995 is ridiculously good already.
Definitely agree. A lot of really high scores here. His stage 4 is also really insanely good. 990k. Yeah, just have to work on the Elden a little bit more and SV as well. Definitely. Moving on, we have on seat number 8 into the top 8, Regis. And as for Regis, yeah, really good average scores here. Definitely put in effort in the SV 945k.
I think he made
Yeah,
a little
just-
slip up at Rice 1. I think he got a
Yeah.
couple 150 somewhere, I would assume.
Probably actual or mistral, it happens. Because
It
we
happens.
see his stage 3, his stage 4 insanely high scores, number 5 and 6. And his hybrid is also really good, 964k, number 10, at being at the top quarter. So yeah, once again, be very careful of this player. Really good average
Overall-
scores here.
And let's move on. On number 7, we have, I don't know how to pronounce this, Mina.
Mine, I don't know.
I pronounce it as Miina. That's how I pronounce it,
Mi-
Miina.
Alright,
Alright,
Mr.
yeah.
Mina.
Okay, but like, what's the first thing I noticed? Look at that SV
Oh.
score.
Nah, dang, rat fella. Nah. We have a
Sadly,
22 on SV1, despite being 7 seed. So this says something about his other 4 maps where, let's see, 1-digit placing, where the hybrid score is in top 3, 988. So that's an insane score. Very strong
yeah,
player.
988 is insanely high, along with his stage 4 as well, 992k. Obviously, very good in this late game maps. Definitely can hold his combo and his accuracy well enough. But yeah, his SV there might need a lot more work there, and players could take advantage of that. So we'll see what happens. Moving on, we have seed number 6, YT Albino. I'm assuming that's YouTube.
Mhm.
And this player, now this is the first player we see that has a pure, really good average. Like, look at his score placings. It's either 7 or 8.
Yep, a very average, not. I mean, a very
Not average.
consistent scoring.
Yes,
Yeah.
very consistent average scores here. Yeah. What else is there to say? Really good play on SV1, as well as his stage 2, stage 4. Stage 3, probably a bit of work over there. Maybe he just choked, we wouldn't know. Same goes for stage 5, so really, really good player. This type of players is what you should be afraid of the most because they are consistent in every aspect. So yeah. Moving on. After seat number 6, we have seat number 5. And wow, it's
June
June.
Yi.
It's June. Hello.
Hello,
Now
June
coming a
Yi,
bit.
Yeah,
the man
June,
himself.
June with like 2 top 3s is definitely super scary, but again, gotta take note of that early game a little though. Rice 1, Ellen 1 not looking the best, but at the end of the day, with a really good hybrid score, they definitely have a lot of options to make it up for. Like, they could pick the physical map on the early game, they could pick a hybrid map, and even the SV, so they definitely have a lot of cushion. This is one of the scarier players here. I mean, we know that this person is super experienced. We've seen them in a 40M team, and they went really far there. So yeah, it's super scary player, but not that far off. Junie is just going to be Stygix. Overall, a really balanced set of scores, even if they don't have a top 3 play at least one time. At least they have a top 4 in the LNs, and overall, really good accuracy score as well. So they definitely have a lot of room here. So yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
brother. Let's see what
Stygix.
Mappool people can do in this tournament. And number 3, we have Jay Lai, Mr. J, Jay the
Mr.
Goat.
J,
Right away, we
the
can
man
see
himself.
all the silvers in the middle 3 maps. Rice 1,
That
Elwin 1, Rice 2. Insane achievement.
Yeah, really, really good consistency. Insanely high scores on his stage 2 and 4. Getting almost the same scores, which is insanely hard to do, mind you. And yeah, his SV does need a little bit of work. Maybe choke. Maybe he got an act drop or a miss somewhere. And same goes for stage 5. It's really hard to say, but maybe. Yeah, stage 5 also has to watch out, but still, that is a really, really high score from him. Really scary player
Number
with a lot of
2,
tournament experience as well.
Number 2, we finally get another first place, Tosai. And
Tosei!
here we also managed to see who got second on SV1. That is 988. Yeah, Everill is the only person who get more than 990k in SV1.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
true.
I mean, yeah.
Still, this SV map is still insanely hard. So this 998k by Tosei is still very, very high score, very good achievement by him. And yeah, as you said, another first place. As we see his Allen score actually being 990k, the only player reaching 990k on his stage. So obviously showcasing his insanely good LN
And
accuracy.
yeah,
Yeah, that
finally,
goes for hybrid as
we
well.
we have rank 1, the man himself. We're gonna call
Yeah,
him
this
Apple.
is
I'm
a
not-
no-brainer. This is a no-brainer.
I'm not saying that name. His name's Apple.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
person's name's
basically-
Apple.
This man needs almost no introduction. Yeah, Apple. Obviously, really, really late game player, really all-rounded. But he fell off a bit on SV, maybe probably a choke or didn't practice enough. But you see his other scores, stage 2, 4 and 5, just well ahead of everybody here. just for comparison, right? We see J Live stage 2, 996k, and then meanwhile we have Apple with 999.4k.
The fact that just look at it. The fact that an supposedly accuracy map and a supposedly stamina map, his score of these two maps are only 400 points apart. That tells a lot. That tells a lot.
Yeah, so all in all, Apple, really scary player, definitely in the run to win this whole thing. But even him, a person like him, has weaknesses, as we see in his Paladin, his stage 3 here, being beaten by LC2 and 3, so
Yeah,
definitely
weakness, okay? Weakness. C3, weakness.
just a little bit, just a little bit of weakness.
Yep, just a little bit.
Nobody's perfect. So yeah.
Right, so with that, we covered everyone that has managed to advance into the next stage. And are we ready to show the next poll, Leon?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you guys. So let's go.
I guess. Alright, just let our streamer change up and move the screen. So yeah.
Right. Just a little bit of intermission.
Just a little bit. And it's round. Yeah. Now we have, as you said, the showcase round 32. This is what the players are going to play for the next week in their 1v1 matches. This is very interesting.
Oh, there we go.
Just going to it, I guess. Yeah. So over here we have our first map, Bryce 1, the consistency map, and this is generally just testing your consistency, your accuracy on an easier jump stream. Yeah, robotic though, played by Yuki. A pretty popular song.
Is
Yes.
this on the same map as the
Yes,
NWC? Yes, it is.
yes, very popular song. That's why I picked it as well. Yeah,
Also a
BPM.
anyone can do. So the
Well,
point in this match is definitely the ratio, how you control the ratio.
Yeah, exactly. It's all. We are starting off around 32 after all, so it's all about. We are in the early, so it's all about the accuracy, the consistency, how high of a score you can get, the ratio department. As you said, this map is more on the easier side, 170 BPM jump stream, and some generous breaks here and there.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some breaks. But what makes this shark hard is the influx of trills here and there. You have to focus a lot on those jumps because, like, at least on my perspective, on acting jump streams, I usually focus more on the timing of the jumps. So I have a basic idea of where to hit. So what makes this hard, of course, those relentless trills, the fact that you have to keep your composure every time, so I think you really have to be careful regardless.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, as long as you just keep focused and you're comfortable with this density, this BPM, you're gonna have a okay time. And with that, yeah, that's the song.
Oh, this is a short version actually. Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
short
this is a
version.
short version, just over 2 minutes. Yeah, starting off,
Let's move on.
it's starting off pretty okay. First man, and yeah, moving on. All right, so here we have have our right.
Our favorite song, the Ascension to Heaven.
Yeah.
Getting right into
Yeah,
the
great
key
song.
eye already.
Yeah, this is a cut version. My Stereo. So this is the speed testing your single speed capabilities. There's a bit of doubles here which could throw you off, but mostly it's all about those single streams. So this is pretty hard for compared to the rest of the night because it's not easy stream a lot of one hand focus patterns.
Your finger locks very easily.
Yeah,
Speaking
that's the
from
word.
personal experience.
Okay,
And
so we have
here
a
you
sort
have-
of big section, right?
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of time to breathe for a bit. But after this break section, it's going to be back to the typical jump stream, whatever it is there.
The single stream. Yeah, after this break, there's no more. Just till the end.
Right, here we go.
Yeah, this single stream, most people can do, but the problem is, yeah, how it's mapped and how there's doubles all over the place as well. So those who aren't really focused on high accuracy and are able to play those denser type of maps are definitely gonna aim for this map here.
Oh man, like this is definitely a very nerve-wracking pick, especially with the
Yeah.
song. And not to mention, I like how there's still parts at the ending. So if your PC, let's say, lags at the ending and you miss,
Oh, don't.
goodbye to your point.
Don't say that.
Don't
Ah.
jinx it. Alright,
Jinx it.
so this person has been banned for commentating for matches.
Well, you gotta give me credit for that if that happens.
We'll talk about it here if that happens, which hopefully not.
Yeah, but
that is. Yeah, sorry.
it's alright.
Yeah, that is Rise 2, and with that, moving on, we have Rise 3, our tech pick.
I think it's kind of interesting how this is the tech pick, and yet this is the highest score we've seen so far in the replay.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of different players, so it's hard to judge.
Yeah, that's true. But like, the thing about tech picks, because like the reason why I think it's interesting, because we all know how hard technical picks are. These are usually the picks that are super difficult to play accurately, and not to mention, okay, tactical picks are also some of the most chokeable maps, because not only do you have to focus on accurately hitting them, you also have to ensure that you're on beat, because tactical maps usually are not straightforward, so you really have to make sure that you're still on the right tempo of the whole map and make sure you're not rushing or dragging or whatever.
Yeah, speaking about tempo, this song here, Missing Wave by the Flash Valve does snaps and tempo goes all over the way. And with that swing rhythm you hear, it doesn't make anything really tricky enough to say. So
Do you know what the score is?
there's no guarantees in this map.
The score's high because it's my replay.
Yeah, here you have a short break. Yeah, it goes back in right after this.
So far every night we have some sort of a break session.
Yeah.
So players can breathe. I think this is
I think it depends. My bad.
the more cozy part of the map. The earlier
Yeah.
section is more heavy and hard to play, and with that is over. We are done.
Yeah,
That
this
is
map,
right.
that's Rise 3, you say? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's Rise 3. Saints score. Yeah, moving on. We have Rise 4. Yep, we have objective.
The one
Price
piece
for
map
Jack.
I like to play.
Jack pick. It's self-explanatory. It tests your Jack consistency, accuracy. Generally, as long as you're comfortable in the BPM of the Jack patterns, you're most definitely getting a really high score or a high accuracy. So this map is definitely for those who want to challenge that really high-end accuracy during match. Sun here, it's really simple. Semi, not even that. It's just a simple Jack pattern here.
Alright, so I think it's kind of rare to see Jack maps in early stage nowadays, given the format of style and the pixel works. But what makes this a very difficult Jack pick is like, it's based on the combo at least. This is a pretty long map compared to the rest that we've seen. So this is gonna feel like forever to some of these players. This would definitely feel like forever to me personally.
Exactly. This tournament has a really good mix of players. Not everyone is gonna be able to play such a type of map for so long. Like some might not even be comfortable at this BPM, so it's not a free match. Here we have this short break. It would be brutal if you hadn't gone for 3 minutes. Hear the music building up once again.
Yeah, okay, moving with this accuracy, I think another challenging part here is the fact that this keeps repeating. So if this repeats and repeats and repeats, this could lead to line blocks if you're really not careful. Personally,
Yeah,
I think it's like one of those charts where you have to metronome. So if you're like, let's say a millisecond off beat, well, good luck to the rest of your actions because you're gonna get a lot of 300s there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it actually changes up a little bit. Just a little bit, just to throw it off, possibly. So it requires your full attention throughout the map.
Yeah, here we get some momentary one beat rest. I like to call it.
Yeah, that's true. In terms of music theory way of speaking, I guess. Generally, the beat mostly just repeats as Toadette mentioned here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, clean score. SS. You'll definitely see a lot of these.
In the end, I think this map will be relatively the easier one for everyone to play.
Yeah,
Easy as in not everyone's gonna get this score, but everyone might get comfortable in the end when they play in the stage. So, on the next map,
yeah.
what is this, Leon?
Then we have our Rice 5, the mix. Yeah, the mix rice. Don't be fooled by this score, because this was played by Soul after all. Soul being our last iteration's winner. So
Yeah,
take it away.
Yeah, I bet this being a mixed race map, it would be forced. It will force you to be tested in a lot of skill sets. Like I believe there should be every skill set here, but usually when I see mixed rice, it's a combination of everything. But for the most part, it's also very technical.
Yeah, that's what it usually boils down to. Oh, here the intro itself is not easy. It starts off with this 1-6 snap verse. So already not starting off easy. Here we have this short build up. Here we go. I think generally this map focuses a lot on first, if I remember correctly. how I can manage when the patterns go in and out differently.
Ooh,
Yeah, generally, yep. So as you can see, 1-6 burst from jump stream and the bit of tech aspect inside as well. Definitely not comfortable for everyone to play. You really need to. You really need to be careful playing this.
I feel like I'm gonna get a 200 on every roll here.
Yeah, it's quite brutal. Unable to react fast enough. Which snap is?
Here we have a second break section. I think after this, it will be the Ki all the way to the end.
Yeah, this map is generous with the breaks, so gives players quite a bit of breathing. But that also means that if you mess up in the Ki, that is a lot of your score going down. So,
Yeah, and here we go. Sort of a break section here. So again, you have some time to breathe, but you really have to be careful, as it's probably gonna start to get crazy here. And as I say that, yep, more rolls, and the timing isn't the most straightforward.
The thing about this process, it's not just like a typical roast, it's very technical in a way as well. This plays how it goes in and out. And yeah, as you said, back into the Ki, and it's a repeat of the first one actually. Yeah, definitely also on the harder side here.
And now we're approaching the end of the map. Still have to take it seriously because you have a few rolls here and there. So yeah, this could really be a 200 killer if you lose your focus right there.
That burst though, did you see that?
And
Yeah,
it's
certainly
something
a
nasty.
certainly not an easy one to hit.
But yeah, with that, that is our Rise 5 and our final Rise map for this pool. And now, going into some noodles. Gonna eat some
Let's get some
noodles.
ramen, some chow mein, some tan tan mian.
Yeah. And here we have our LN1, our LN release or LN coordination focus. So this, yeah, don't get fooled by the star rating. Although this LN is on the easier side, it's still gonna pose a challenge for those players who aren't used to LN concept. As you can see, you have the releases are a bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely fits a very early release map, and this is 3 minutes at least from what I can see. So man, this
Yeah.
is gonna be super nerve-wracking, especially with how slow this is.
Yeah, exactly. The length is also something to consider.
And that shield is harder than it looks. Let me just show you.
Yeah, definitely. All this release coordination type of maps is very deceiving. You won't actually feel how hard it is until you try it yourself. Yeah, generally the density doesn't change that much until the end of the map. Maybe it fluctuates a bit here and there, just like how we saw in the intro.
As you can see right now, on the right, we're only 50% through the map.
Yeah,
Can you imagine-
that is wrong.
You can already imagine how annoying this map's gonna be when you practice it.
But it's a good song.
It's a
At
good
least-
song, yeah.
I
At
mean,
least I give you
really,
that.
of course, it's a good song.
Yeah, here you have where the density spikes a little bit again, so could trip a lot of players over there. And just generally a repeat of the first half, basically. A short break, actually. I say break, but it's easy to mess up when you're focusing.
Yeah, usually in early game LN, I generally won't say which part is KI, which part is not, because honestly,
Yeah.
with release concern, I think all parts kind of KI-ish. You have to really focus to get all the releases correct, or else even in break section you're gonna drop accuracy.
Yeah, exactly. The concept of releasing that normal LN as perfect as you can, that itself is gonna be a challenge when you're doing it for 3 minutes straight. So yeah, that's LN1. Interesting map here.
Here we have
Moving on.
another a heavier ramen. We get a Toph Daddy map by the GOAT Toby Fox himself.
Yes, sir. And this map is also used quite a bit as well, so maybe people aren't familiar. But yeah, here we go. It's meant to be more density focus. That's what I like to call it.
Oh my goodness. This gives me a lot of memories because I'm pretty sure this was in soft fun.
It was in a Python. Sure. Yeah, generally, this is what density, at least for early game, is gonna look like. It's pretty much just like this for the entirety of the map. You have this 1/4 LN streams. Pretty hard in its own way, especially when you're not used to playing all these different type of LN maps.
But this requires a different kind of LN control compared to LN1. And look at that inverse, a little bit of inverse going on right there.
Yeah.
So since the hit sound is pretty loud right now, I'm just going to point out that if you can hear properly, the hit sound they make, it's a very consistent hit. So no such thing as 1, 2, 116, 1 whatever. Just how you control and release the LN at different chords.
The same concept as we have for Rise 1 here is consistency in how high you can aim the high accuracy, how long you can hold on to that high accuracy. And then here we go. This part is once again a bit more harder than the rest.
Yeah, I mean the ending certainly will make you nervous, and now that it's almost done, I like how this is still kind of tense in a way, especially with the ending, because you're really forced to keep that accuracy up. Any 200 drop, and I think it spells the end of you, because the thing about LNs is you tend to get a lot of bad judges in a row, like 300s or whatever. So you really have to be careful on that.
Yeah, definitely. And with that sorry. Yeah, with that, that is our LN2, and we'll be moving on to our next gear. It's LN3. I didn't point it out, but we have more maps compared to last round 16. So it will be first to 5 straight out the gate here. That's why we have the more rice maps, more LN maps. Yeah, here we go. LN3, basically like a mix of the LN1 and 2. But it's really hard to categorize LN maps.
If I were to describe it, I would say the hybrid LN. That's what I would say.
Hybrid. I guess that works. Or basically LN, mixed LN. So yeah, here it's starting here more densely focused in verse.
Here we have a little bit of fun in the break section,
Fun.
and we're moving things up a little bit.
Yeah, it also tests your coordination thing. Like it's not continuous. You see this stops here and then it continues again. This LN, even though it's just 1/4 LN, it's pretty all over the place here.
Okay, yeah, as of this moment though, I think what I've been noticing here is this seems to be a little bit mixed in the sense that I see density here, but there's also like some very tight gaps. And I think that's the beauty of this map. Like, okay, sure, it's dense, yeah, but you don't forget about being able to accurately release on time. Because like it's not gonna be one of those density picks where you can just jump stream it, like play like jump stream inverse, but you have to really focus on those release timings as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is out the LN out the way. Now let's move on to our next category here. Okay, everyone's favorite SB.
Oh my, no way, this is in the pool.
And it's not like I have many choices. Anyway, we have this more reading-oriented map, and we are starting off this round pretty chill. Much more easier than stage 1 here.
Oh no, we have our first 200 in this.
It happens, but that ratio without replay here says a lot as well. So starting off just this one is generally some starters, some stops here. That's pretty much it. As for the map patterning, yeah, basically the map patterning is also it's not dense.
Oh,
Yeah,
that goes to 200.
Yeah, even though I'm saying this on the easier side, there's still this sudden slower down, sudden speed ups you have to watch out for.
I'm gonna go off tangent a bit and recommend you guys to play the map yourself first, because right now the stream is not consistent. The streamer's internet is exploding right now, so the starter might not be in the map, is what I would like to say.
Oh, yeah, true.
So please play the map yourself. Play the map yourself and decide. Well, you're supposed to play SVE yourself anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, this map just slows down a bit, then it goes back into it, and generally that's how the whole thing is. So it gives you a lot of leeway to focus on your accuracy a lot more.
Yeah, I think another thing to note is, luckily the OD isn't too high. OD 7.2, your typical OD when it comes to long nodes and hybrids. But you really have to be careful because this map leaves you with barely any room for error. Only 1,000 something nodes means that every mistake would count much more. Because at least compared to a 2,000 combo map, you don't have that much mistakes to make, really.
Yeah, totally agree what you said here. And with that, that is our SV1. We're gonna move on to our second SV.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god!
Oh
Ah,
no!
Call. Wait,
ah,
let's go.
hold on. Let me explain. Let me explain. Uh-huh. Kill me.
This is like all 1, 2, 3, 4 moment.
This is our SV2, our more of a hybrid SV, and not by call 1, 2, 3, 4 SV. Zora. Anyway, let's go.
Bro, okay, this triggers something in my memory. I played this map
Yeah,
during tournament.
there's
And I
not
get
many
highest
SV.
score because
Yeah.
you missed. Did you miss? You did, yes.
Oh my god, do you have to bring it now?
Yes.
Oh man,
Everyone-
okay, moving on from our bad memories, because we don't want to have the mood down. This
Yeah,
SV pick kind of forces you to memorize, really. Because, like, the thing about this is it has a lot of stops. There's a very notable one somewhere about the map where, like, right now, yeah, it's kind of a super consistent stop. It's around here, You gotta watch out for this one.
It's coming, it's coming.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. That's the one.
Yeah, so we didn't explain this map properly. So generally, this map, you can see this is starters here and occasional stops like that, which is completely offbeat, designed to throw you off completely.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the concern here. I think what players really have to be careful of is like there's another very room for error, and just like that, we saw another one of those stops.
Yeah, here we go. This is also
This is
extremely hard to time.
Long note SVs, man. These are
Yeah.
super difficult. Why are long note SVs so hard? Because like there's a difference between hitting a note and releasing them. And we can all agree that we're more familiar really with the timing windows of hitting the note, especially when it comes to SV. And like even if the replayer only got 13 300s, it's only like 998k. So definitely this is just a map with super small room for mistakes.
This
Right.
basically forces you to memorize each detail, each specific detail. You can, or your score just plummets down by like 20k or something by just one small mistake.
Yeah, then after that, I believe
Yeah.
is this a hybrid or is this a what?
Yeah,
sure
we're
there's a-
moving on to hybrid one. Definitely a really huge throwback.
I
This
think
Maybe
this is,
some people
This
here.
this reminds me of MWC, I think.
yeah, I think this is MWC from a very long time ago.
Alright, so basically this is from MWC. Very long time ago. Yeah, so we have hybrid one, the rise oriented hybrid here. As mentioned before, this was in an older MWC, I think 2019 edition. This map is, how do I put it? It's technical in a way as well.
Yeah, I mean, knowing the nature of this map, I feel like this would be a technical kind of map because I remember this being picked for MWC groups, as you two have said, but I've noticed I've been more familiar with this as a rice because, like, number one, you can already see those mini jacks, but I think what makes this a hybrid pick, definitely there are some long notes here. I think there will also be some shorter ones, so you have to be super careful with those.
Yeah, just like that, it's, you see this build up going on here. That one is relatively simple when you comparing it to other types of pattern, but the fact that it's entangled with this more complex rise patterning. That's why it's considered a hybrid.
Yeah, those short
And
long
short
notes are
Alex.
brutal, man. Like, thing about staccato long notes is you really are forced to not just hit the note, but you have to like instantly release it as well. Not to mention those mini jacks making those kind of long notes really give you, really force you to focus a lot more.
Yeah, and that stream is supposed to do that as well.
Just long. And look
Yeah,
at those
very techy,
curves.
very bursty map.
Isn't that just simple on the high side? But I wouldn't want to play
It's-
this, I'll be honest.
It's not simple at all, especially that roll you just saw, with those mini
Yeah.
elements
Mhm.
within those rolls as well.
Nasty.
Extremely nasty, yes. And here, yeah, this map, you're not supposed to focus too much on. You need to, even if you do, it's hard to be consistent with that. It basically forces you to take a safer approach, not aim too high accuracy. Yeah, we have yet another break.
Yeah, I mean, accuracy, you did mention how accuracy is very important, but at the end of the day, if you focus too much on the accuracy aspect, there is a big chance you could miss, and I don't think you'd want that, especially on group stages, because like, the thing about group stages is they have very little objects in the pool, so it means that for every map, you only have a few notes to get to hundreds or whatever you think you could get, because like, as I said, with lesser notes, lesser chances for people to make mistakes. So, man, and we already saw 200 right there. Like, you saw a drop of 0.05%, which is pretty big, especially on rounds this early.
That is the end of the map here. Price one pula. I mean hybrid one, yes. With that, moving on, we have our second hybrid.
Oh, I like this one.
Alright, so we're going to Folsom Atlantis, our hybrid 2 pick. So, now that this has 2,000 notes in the whole pool, of course, it means that yes, more chances to make mistakes now. But look at the starter. It's like 3.31 if I'm reading that right. So 3.31, what does this mean? This map is not going to be difficult in terms of physicality. So I bet for some of these players, this could be more straightforward than the other one. As I think this is the more long note centered hybrid. You can already tell from those very tight gaps in one of those columns, and rise parts on the other. It might be straightforward, more straightforward than the first pick in terms of the rise patterns, but wow, those long note gaps are super tight. So you have to be careful with the tempo and whatsoever. And yeah, you have a little bit of a break section here, which is really good if you are on the verge of having some nervous breakdowns or whatever, which I really hope no one gets too nervous. And I hope that everyone's able to keep their composure. Because man, I would really be nervous playing this map. And with more long notes to have, this is really going to be challenging, especially for people who are not familiar with how to release long notes in the most efficient manner.
Yeah, definitely. And we have this short break just before going back to Kian once again.
Yeah, and how approaching that part with some long notes again here and there. This is what really makes the chart difficult. And now some long notes sort of density sections. This is where I believe some matches could really be decided, as this is the part where everyone could get better accuracy as time progresses.
I'm sure this part is definitely mainly Ellen here. You have to watch out for that as well. Yeah, this map doesn't have a lot of rice components, but it's those little string of rice that entwined with those elements that make it pretty hard to hit.
And that
Yeah,
last note
don't
scared
forget
me.
that last note.
That last note scared me. Like you could get a 200 easily if you're not careful.
Yeah, it comes down all the way to the last note, so you have to focus all the way through. Yeah, that is our hybrid 2. And with that, we only have one map remaining. Yep, only one map remaining. And that is...
man, isn't this the NWC TV?
Yes. Oh, I know. I'm raising. Let me
not
Just joking. This is just joking. This is the NWC one. Lol. This is.
Anyway,
I actually forgot
yeah.
where this is from.
podium. Anyway,
40 on 40
Yeah.
on, my bad.
more older TV, but still equally as hard. And this tiebreaker, being around just over 4 minutes, is gonna test every single one of the skill sets here. Oh, except for SV.
What round is it again? Podium.
I believe it's group stage, or probably round of 16. Because if I'm not mistaken, 40 FP still has group stage. So this is probably either group stage or what was that again? Round of 16 TV. But this is one of the earlier ones.
Round 32. Round 32.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
so
fine.
it's from the same crew as the cube building cube thing.
Yes. Yeah, anyways, here, starting off here, we have a good mix of Ellen here already. It's helping you build up to what's coming up next year, first drop. And yeah, here, obviously, then these spikes heavily here.
The jump stream-ish with a little bit of burst.
Yeah, the first is what's gonna chip the people off you, which is what happened to me there. Getting a 200 is really easy to get to. It's very uncomfortable to get high, really good accuracy on it. Don't forget these Allens in between each of it as well. Easily trip you up if you're not careful about that.
And we have some long notes and rice mixed together. So you could even, if you're like comfortable with this could be a sort of break section if you want. But here's the thing: you can't let those long note releases let you feel a little bit more relaxed, because they're certainly going to be hard. Remember, this is only 7.5, so this is not going to be any slouch. And here's the real break section. But those short islands really have to be paid attention to.
Yeah, definitely. It's just fine with break section. It's just slowing down a little bit for you just before getting our Ellen section here. And these releases, goodness, these are hard releases right here. Almost all 4 columns, you have to release it at different times, so really testing how do they end those elements. And that part is short, but it's hard. It's hard. That's all I can say.
Man, I bet this break section's gonna make some players nervous, because it definitely would make me nervous. And time is like almost running out. We're approaching the last fourth, not even fourth, we only have a little bit of time left. And we're gonna be approaching the last 1,000 notes. You gotta be really, really careful. Here we go now. This is where some of the release timings are gonna be tested. Some rice patterns are thrown into the mix as well.
Yeah, pretty much everything, the technical aspect of those elements, the verse, the rise, hybrids, everything. And everything put into this one small section here. And as the map is slowing down, we still have these hard sections here, you have to really pay attention to.
We are approaching the end. A very long map. I mean, it's supposed to be a tiebreaker map.
Yeah.
And with that, that is all.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is definitely a pool that's very interesting. However, I really hope that the players enjoy it. I think that's the most important part of map pool anyway. And I do hope that everyone gets to play all of their matches because like this is certainly a pool that I bet everyone on the team worked hard on, and I really hope that everyone just enjoys the pool, and I really hope that everything goes well. Hope to see some
Yeah.
really good matches.
Yeah, hope so too. Obviously, who wouldn't want that? But I hope everyone enjoys the map. And I'm just gonna talk a little bit about how 1v1 matches is gonna. Basically, schedules will be open soon, and as well as the brackets. Well, I'll talk more about it in the announcements later. But basically, you will know who you're facing against. You have to talk to them and schedule a match, and then you will have to post it on schedule. And yeah, that's it. Then there's a lot to talk about in 1v1 if you're not. So I'll go over that quite soon, or as soon as I can. But when you do ask in the server, yeah, I am. Anyway, I think that's it from me. I hope everyone enjoys playing this map pool. It should be out soon. At least I'll try to get it out as soon as I can. Anything else you guys want to comment on?
Not really much. I just hope that everyone has fun and just do your best. Maybe whatever you thought was impossible could be possible after all. Just keep on doing your best and have fun in the matches. That's all I really have to say here.
Yeah, true. Utica?
Nothing. Please have fun. Feel free to complain if you have complaints.
Nice. Give me more headache. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you all for joining the stream, looking at the pool, and I hope you guys actually practice the pool, enjoy the pool, and enjoy the tournament, enjoy life. Okay, see ya.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Alright,
everyone.
signing off.
Welcome to Tokyo.